Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Coach Lewis Shine. Thank you so much for opting to purchase this webinar entitled New and Aspiring Coaches. And through this, one of the things I want to do is share my experience because I've been in both of those seats. I've been an aspiring coach and I've also been a new coach. And as an aspiring coach, trying to get a job, trying to take that next step so that you can actually be in a position where you are employed and you're working and you're coaching and you're running after your dreams. But also the other side of that is you're actually in a position where you're coaching, but maybe you're trying to learn so that you can thrive where you are, or you're trying to move up because you've been where you are for a while, or maybe you just want to move up. You maybe been there for a year, but you want to still move up and excel in the business. So I'm going to share all three of those during this series. Video one is going to be the aspiring coaches. Video two is going to be those who want to get better. And I'm going to share some different things throughout that that'll help you thrive where you are. And then also that third video, I'm going to go over into moving up. If you want to move up from where you are, no matter where you're at, I feel like your goal should be to move up, but maybe you like where you are, so maybe you just want to get better. But whatever the case, I think that these videos that I'll share will be something that you can thrive from, you can take nuggets from, and operate in whatever part of your life using these in coaching. And I think it'll help you get better at your craft. So let's get going on this first one for those aspiring coaches, and for you all that are already coaches. I believe that you'll get something out of this session here. So I'm going to start this session basically talking through my experience as an aspiring coach. And so take some good notes. Hope that you get some from this. So I got my little notes here, so I'm going to go along the lines of the notes here. But my story before coaching, I used to own a minor league basketball team, and 2016 August is I sold my team, and so I was looking for my next thing. I just didn't know exactly what it was. So at the time, I moved out of Lima. I moved to Dayton, Ohio. I used to live in Lima, Ohio, so I moved to Dayton, Ohio, and man, I was just trying to figure it out, just trying to see what was going on. So didn't really know. I loved basketball, so I wanted to kind of stay in basketball. And I'll be honest, at the time, I didn't know that I wanted to coach. But I still kind of had basketball in my brain and my mind. So I was trying to see what kind of opportunities were out there. So one of my first opportunities came when I had an opportunity to work for a new basketball league that was going to be out of the country. So, I did everything that I needed to do with that. It was going to be a front office position. Things ended up not working out with that position. It actually fell through. So, I had to go on to the next thing. So, I was putting resumes in everywhere. And this is one of the things that I really encourage any of you aspiring coaches, man, flood the market with your resumes. I mean, upload them to your Monsters and your Indeeds. If you got your LinkedIn account, put it on your LinkedIn account. Send it out to people that Like, that's one of the things that I did. Is when I was looking, I sent my resume to everybody that I knew. I let people know that I was looking. At the time, things didn't work out for me because nobody had anything, which, some of you might run into that, where nobody has anything. So, but you got to keep doing it anyway, because you never know, that one thing might lead to another thing. So make sure you send it out to your friends, people that you know that are in positions to hire you, secondary contacts of people that maybe know the person that's in the position to hire you. Make sure you get that resume to them. All right. So the next thing is, I had to, after I sent those things all out, I did my follow-ups. I did, my calls, my emails, my text messages. And so things were just not opening up at the time. So I was just like, all right, cool. So at the time, I had a friend ask me, hey, do you want to go over to this local college and help me train this team. Now, it wasn't for pay or anything, but my mind, this is how my mind went. My mind went, you know what? Maybe I can just go over there. It's not for pay, but let me use it for my advantage. Let me see if I can get some film, put it on social media, and just let it work for my benefit. So I went ahead and went and helped train the team, helped stretch the team, warm them up. I started doing that. This is a Division II college team. I started doing that. And then what happened was, after a few times going, the team started asking me to come back. Like, hey, when are you coming back? Can you come by and train us? And so I began to develop a little relationship with them, to the point where it actually led to a paid gig. I had one of the players actually pay me to train them, you know, and so it kind of led to that, you know. So I just kind of kept in that flow for, I'll say, maybe about a month. And then I was looking at that time, I was like, man, you know, this is feeling good. It kind of got me in the coaching flow, because I would see the coaches there and everything. And I was just like, you know what, let me go ahead and ask the coaches, like, do they have a position open? Because if there's a position open for training or assistant coach, then maybe I can just go ahead and slide in there, you know, and be on the staff, and I can do this all the time. So, you know, they went to check things out, and it's come to find out there was no money in the budget for it. And so, you know, at that time I was still unemployed. So I kind of had to start doing other things, you know. It was hard to continue to come for free, even though when I did come for free, I got the film. I was able to upload it on social media so that people could see it. So that was a good thing. Anytime that you have an opportunity to do anything, like if it's this coaching thing that you're wanting to do, you know, and you're training athletes or anything along the lines that coaching would cover, make sure you film it, make sure you post it on social media so that people can see. Because if people don't know you're doing something, then, you know, they don't know, you know what I'm saying? You got to let them know what you do. And speaking of social media, man, one of the things that you can really do is, if you're wanting to coach and you're aspiring, play the part. Make sure that you put in your bio a coach or aspiring coach, resume at this link, email me for my resume, or go to my YouTube and check out my training. You know, let people know what you're trying to do, or let people know what you are or what you are doing, so that they can know. Because sometimes people might see that and they say, hey, you know what? Let me help them. I just seen a guy today, in his bio, it said aspiring coach. So I followed him, and I didn't get a chance to, but I was prompted to send him this very series that I'm filming for you guys, you know, to see if he wanted to take part in it, you know. So just let people know. And, you know, you have a lot of eyes on social media, especially Twitter. You got your athletic directors, you got, you know, make sure that you let people know on your social media, especially in your bio, what you're doing. Another thing I would say too is, make sure that you follow people on social media. Follow ADs. Make sure you're on HoopDirt. HoopDirt.com for the women's is WHOOP dirt.com, and for the men is HOOP dirt, HoopDirt.com. Those were two sites that were like really dear to me, because when I was looking for jobs, I was always looking on there. Got a lot of good leads and everything off of that. So make sure that you track that as well as other sites down, so that you can see what jobs are there, because you never know. Somebody could get fired, somebody could get let go, somebody's retiring. Assistant coaching positions happen at a drop of a dime off season. I've seen them happen in season because something happened. You just always got to keep your eyes peeled to the pavement or to your phone and to those sites, and put your automatic notifications on their Twitter pages, their Twitter pages, and any other sites that you can find. So that the NCAA market, if you Google NCAA market, you know, you can get a tab on the NCAA jobs. And so no matter what level you're looking for, you know, there's always a way to find out what's going on. So just make sure you keep your social media updated, so that people, when they come across your page, they can see if you're looking, if you're aspiring, if you already are a coach. So just make sure you keep that updated. Now, So after I had the opportunity to train there at the college that I did, another opportunity opened up. And here's why I tell you was very valuable. Sometimes if you are aspiring coaching, you're looking to get into coaching, sometimes opportunities will come in an untraditional way. All right. So there's an opportunity that opened up to me. I was in Dayton, Ohio, and at one of the local rec centers, had someone that I knew that had a son on the team, and they asked me, hey, would you be willing to coach the team? And so at the time, not making any money, was trying to look for a job, get that full-time coaching or training or whatever it might be in that basketball genre, trying to get that going. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I was real with them, let them know if something happens, then I will have to leave if I get a job. But as long as I'm here, then I'll go ahead and do it. So I stepped out and did it. And so there was several weeks of basketball games with this young team, 7th and 8th grade team. And it just really came on my heart strong, like treat them just like you would if you had a college or NBA job. It's easy because it's a rec center league. You just go over there, toss out the ball, let them play, and just kind of go lackadaisically through it and don't think anything of it. But man, let me tell you what, I gave it to those kids. I'm talking about when we had practices. I put my all into it. I put my all into it and try to run it like a NBA practice, had structure, put in plays, things like that, that level probably would never see. Also on game days, I had my board where I'm writing my plays, the direction down. I dressed up. So at the time, I think I might have had some khakis, tie, sweater vest. Like I did my best to dress my very best. Like I was literally going to be on the sideline, going to coach at a college, I lived where I wanted to be at the moment, even though I was in the moment at a certain place coaching a rec center league team for free. I lived in the moment where I wanted to be. I lived my moment now, and so wherever you might find yourself, you're aspiring, you're looking for that. You want to be that someday. Whatever you're doing right now and wherever you find yourself, man, do that like you're already here. Do this like you're already here, so that when you get here, you're already ready to flow into it and you're not so behind. Like condition your mind where you are now to be where you want to be and go ahead and flow in that now. You don't have to wait. So that's what I did, man. Went through that little season. I think we might have lost the championship by 1 point or something like that. But man, and I've talked to some of those kids, and the parents like on and off for the last few years or so since then. But man, it touched their heart. But I wanted to touch their heart on purpose, and I wanted to give them a great experience. So wherever you're at right now, start operating. You may be aspiring as far as the title of, you're coaching, you're an aspiring coach, but go ahead and operate as if you were. So meaning if you got another job and you really want to coach one day, then you know what? Set some time aside at night to operate as a coach. Start scouting games, acting like you're a coach. Start taking notes. Start dreaming of, hey, when I get this job, let me go ahead and get me some cheat sheets together so that when I get there, I'm good to go. I'm good to go. I already have my plan down. I'm ready, coach. What's going on? You can use me. I'm ready. I've been preparing for that for years. So make sure you do that. Make sure you live where you want to be now. All right. So after that, I did the Rec Center League. And then after that, things begin to die down. I had an opportunity to go up to a college and, things were it was kind of a little desperate at the time. I was like, man, I want something. So you know what? I'm going to go up to this other college, a Division I college in Ohio. And man, I went to the basketball office, had my resumes ready. I went to the athletic department, went from office to office trying to find something. Nothing happened. I just was like, I'm going for it. And so from there, I got a chance to go home to Chicago. And, this was probably around November 2016, Thanksgiving. And so still nothing has happened, And so I'm still aspiring, man. I want to be this. I'm feeling this coaching thing now. It's like, man, I never knew I really wanted to do it. But, I was a trainer. But I got the chance to coach these kids and be around a college team, training them, and tried to get a coaching gig there. So I'm feeling this coaching thing now. So it's like, oh, man, this is what I want to do. And so go home to Chicago, ended up working a regular job for a few months. But there were some basketball things that happened. I kept trying to train. I mean, when I was in Chicago, man, I'm talking about, I sent resumes to the Chicago Sky, to the Chicago Bulls, the Windy City Bulls. Like, I was going for it, man. I'm like, hey, I'm going for this thing. I put my stuff out there. Also, I was putting stuff online for training. I was doing a 30-day challenge virtually with people. Like, I was just operating in what I knew. Like, a lot of times what we have to do, my aspiring coaches and coaches, if you're watching this, is make sure that you're using what you have. So, yeah, you might want to be a coach, but you're good at this marketing piece, or you're good at this training piece. Because I tell you, as a Division I and Division II coach, I wasn't just doing X's and O's. I was doing marketing. I was doing finance reports. I was doing travel arrangements, booking flights, booking buses, booking hotels, like you name it. So literally all of the skills that I have as far as training, I have a strength and conditioning certification, like all those things come into play. Like, because when you're a coach, you're not just on the court, you're helping to run it all. You know what I'm saying? So what you're doing, if you're just a trainer, or no matter what you might be at the moment, man, do that with all your might, because I promise you, when you become a coach, somewhere in there, it's going to come into play. And so this training thing, I was trying to push that. And so one day I went walking to Dunkin' Donuts one day. I like my toasted coconut donuts. And so I was near my grandmother's house in Chicago, Loyola University area. And so, man, I went walking back to my grandmother's house, and I heard a basketball bouncing. And so I was like, you know what? Where is that ball coming from? So I followed the sound of this ball, and I walked into a high school, and it's a basketball team practicing. So, knowing me, I'm a people's person. I just kind of flow on up in there and act like I'm supposed to be there. And I ended up connecting with the head coach. And I was like, hey, man, how you doing, man? My name's Louis Shine. I was just walking, and I heard you guys. And I was like, hey, you ever bring anybody in to help train your team? And he's like, oh, yeah. He said, you can come over here and work with them, man. I told him my credentials, things I've done. And so that turned into an opportunity. So I ended up training a team like 2 or 3 different days while I was there, and got it on video and everything. And it was a great experience. And the crazy part about that is I just visited that head coach. He's coaching at another school now, but while I was in Chicago as of late, I had an opportunity to go and work with that coach's team. And so it was just amazing to be able to link up with a coach, stay connected, and you never know what might happen in the future. And so take chances, man. Like, go find a gym, go volunteer, go help. I didn't get paid to work with this team, but I was like, it was a great opportunity, a connection, as well as I got it on video. So now I can post it on social media. Then people can see what I'm doing, So like I say, anything you're doing with ball, your aspiring coaches, make sure you post it, because you never know. It takes one person to see what you're doing, so that, that can open another door for you. So in Chicago, that one thing happened. And so as I was there, man, just trying to find things, I got so many you're overqualified. I was turning in resumes, different things, but I didn't quit. And so, and this is all over a span of like 2 or 3 months. There's a lot of things happen. And so ended up leaving Chicago, going back home to Ohio, my second home. And then I got a phone call. And the phone call was from the college that I actually went for free to train their team and to work with their players with a friend. And so I got the call, and the call just simply went, hey, I remember when you came down here, you worked with our team, and, I just want to let you know that I have a assistant coaching spot open. Now, this was like almost mid-season. Like I told you, things happen. So you always keep your connections fresh, and you always look for an opportunity in something. You might get offered to do something for free, and I'm not saying overextend yourself to where it's just unbearable, but if you get an opportunity to do something that is for free as a volunteer, few days here, a couple days, go work with somebody on the court, take an opportunity. I mean, be led, of course, and go with your heart. But if you have an opportunity like that, do it. And I did. And then several months later, because of the moments that I went to train their team for free, I got video and everything, but I got a phone call asking me to be an assistant coach for the same program that I went to work with. And so, I didn't quit. I didn't give up. So I accepted the job. And so, in the process of accepting the job, I still had a few loose ends that I had to tie up. So I had to go to Toronto for the D-League Showcase, which is the G League now, work with the NBA, do a camp there. Then I also had an opportunity from there. I left from Toronto directly to New York to do exactly what I'm doing now, which is consulting, helping teams. I had a chance to go work with a pro team there and work through some of their, front office, game day operations type of things, and just had a chance to meet with their team and have some bonding time with them and some motivational talks with them. And so right after that, I was able to go home, pack my stuff, and then I went down to the school in Ohio and started my job around February 1st, 2017. So that's kind of how that journey went for me as a aspiring coach. Sometimes people get jobs as an aspiring coach and it's easy. It's like they can walk right in the door, that's fine. My journey as an aspiring coach, and I think I said aspiring head coach, but either one, whatever you aspire to do, aspiring coach, aspiring head coach. For me, it was just aspiring coach, get in the door, and the door opened for me. And so I was able to go and start as the lead assistant coach. I was the only assistant coach, and I had a chance to get on the team, and team was doing very well. I had a chance to go in there and add what I knew, bring the things that were valuable to me that I had done over time, training and different things, and I was able to add to that program. Won the conference championship, and my coach got coach of the year that year. So, man, it happened quick, but you have to stay ready. And so I'm going to leave you guys with a few things. I hope you got something out of my story. I'm going to leave you with a few things, but I'll say this: stay ready, because you never know when your opportunity is going to come knocking. Make sure you stay ready. Have your resumes ready. Have your phone turned on. Have your voicemail box clear. Check your emails every single day. I got a story that I'm going to tell in one of the next videos. It's probably going to be the third video, but so I'm going to hold y'all on ice. But on the third video, that checking voicemail, I'm going to bring that back. So remember that. Make sure you check your voicemails every single day, especially if you've been putting inquiries out there, trying to get a job, and you want people to know that you're looking, and you've sent resumes out. If you sent resumes or applied to jobs, make sure you check your voicemail. Okay, I'm going to bring that back. All right, so let's go with so a little bit of summary here. What I've been talking about. There's 4 points that I want to leave you guys with this video. Is the first one. We're going to start with the first one. Make sure you send your resumes all over. We talked about that earlier. Send your resumes all over. Don't have a sweet looking resume and it's just sitting on your computer or your phone, and you're looking for a job and you want to be a coach, but you're not sending them out. Make a goal. Send 10 of them out a day, at least to start. If you're real violent, go 50 or 100. I mean, there's schools all over the world. There's college coaching jobs. There's high school coaching jobs. There's coaching jobs everywhere. And there's so many colleges and there's so many high schools. Man, send that thing out. Have a creative hour where in this hour, I'm going to send it to 20 people I've never thought to send it to, but I'm going to send it anyway. Emails are all over the internet. All you got to do is search people. And 99% of the time, you're going to find their email. So make sure that you're sending your stuff out. My quote is, and this is a good takeaway, you can retweet, you can tweet this if you want, but people don't know who you are until they know who you are. They don't know you exist until they know you exist. So if they don't know you exist, you got to let them know you exist. And when they know you exist, that's when you put your stuff out there and they'll find out. So they don't know you exist until they know you exist. So you got to let them know that you exist. So Keep your resume fresh, send it out. Make sure your social media is full of what you do and your credentials and what you're currently doing and what you're looking for. I mean, heck, why not get on social media and make you a video? We have these smartphones. Why not use them? Make a video and say, hey guys, how you doing? My name is Louis Shine. I am an aspiring coach. My passion has been basketball for so many years, and that's where you insert how many years it's been for you. And then you tell your personal story, how, you know, in college, this is what you did, and this is what led you to believe that you want to be a coach. So if anybody out there is listening, you know, I would love to be on your coaching staff. I have a resume, I have these credentials, and you just make you a little PSA and post it. Like, why not? Like, you know, there's so much of other things on the internet. Why not put something positive and say, hey people, hey world, this is who I am. I'm an aspiring coach. If you know anybody that's looking, I'm guarantee you I'll do a great job. I've done this. I've graduated this. I got this kind of degree. I've done this and that and that. And I will do a great job for you. So if you're watching this and you don't know anybody, please share this. Please retweet this for me. Or if you know somebody that needs to see this, please tag them in this. But I am looking for a job, and I'm going to make somebody a real good assistant coach. You know, why not? Why not? Go for it. Go for it if that's what you want. All right. So that's point one. Point number two, social media. We just went over that. Social media is your resume. So make sure, and I tell players this, but why not? I'll tell the coaches this too. Do not post your turn up, like your turn up, you know, how you get down and, you know, maybe with your friends, or like, you know, like if you have, you know, times where you just kind of just wild and you just do your thing. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of people post that kind of stuff. And here's the thing, when athletic directors and coaches that want to hire you, they go on your social media and see certain things, then that's going to be detrimental to their program. And so, you know, you don't want to post those kind of things. Keep your private life private. But when you post certain things, just know that people are going to see that stuff, and it might have a bearing on whether they hire you or not. You know what I'm saying? So just make sure that, you know, if you're aspiring to be a coach, just keep your social medias professional, especially the ones that are public. Keep them professional, so that when other people look at them, they're like, oh man, this is a great person. You know, they have these credentials. They're clean. They lead a good life. You know, I'm going to interview them. You know, when people get your resumes, one of the first things they look at is your social media. So go ahead and put your social media on your resume, because they're going to look for it anyway. But it's a good selling point, especially if you put everything on there that you've been doing to sell yourself. Highlights of when you played, videos of you training somebody, maybe a video saying, hey, this was a great coaching symposium. You're going to coaching symposiums before you even became a coach. Like, when people see that kind of stuff and see that you're about that life before you're about that life and you're really a coach, oh, now you can be a coach because they saw that you were being a coach before you were a coach. You know what I'm saying? So that's just another step. Just keep your social media clean, keep it professional, show that you're ready to be a coach on social media, an aspiring coach. And I believe that will help lead you to being a coach. So that's first point, resumes, send them everywhere. Second point, social media, keep it clean, show that you're ready to be a coach. Third point is network, get yourself out there. Hey, make sure you reach out to people that you know, that you don't know. Introduce yourself. Reach out to people to learn from them. Make a cold call to a college coach and say, hey, what did you do to become a coach? You know, what route did you take? Do you have any tips for me? I'll tell you this point right here. What I learned is people like to talk about themselves. So when you reach out to ask somebody that is doing what you want to do, when you ask them how they did it, a lot of times they have no problem telling you, hey, this is how I did it, you know, and they're more than willing to drop some knowledge and leave a few wisdom nuggets with you. So, man, reach out, network, go places, go to coaching symposiums, go to coaching clinics, network with people, because when you network with somebody, that person that you talk to might be the connection for you getting your next job. And I'm going to share that in one of the next, I'm going to share that in the next video as well, on how me getting my Division I job was based on a relationship that I actually started by sending an email when I got my Division II job, just to network with the coaches that were at the surrounding colleges. But when I reached out to these surrounding colleges just to network, to see if I could come to their practices and things like that, I got a chance to meet somebody, became close with some people, and, had an opportunity to connect with that person. And later on, same person helped get a job for me, so you just never know. Make sure you're meeting people every single day. Make a goal. Hey, I'm going to contact 5 new people today. You just never know. Network. Go to networking events. If you get invited out, go meet new people, because you never know what that connection might do in terms of leading to one of your jobs or your next job or your first job, as far as you being an aspiring coach, that first college coaching job or high school coaching job, whatever level coaching job you desire. So make sure, point number 3, networking. And then point number 4, make sure that what you're doing now, you're doing it like you want to do it where you're going. So do what you're doing now like you're already where you want to go. Same example I told you about the Rec Center League, man. I did all that I had to do to make that experience the experience that I wanted it to. It didn't have to do with the 7th and 8th graders. It didn't have to do with them. But it had to do more than anything with me, because I wanted to treat the experience like it was a pro experience. I walked in there like I was going to an NBA game, dressed up, serious, board, so I could draw my plays, whiteboard. I went serious. And as an offspring of that, they got blessed because I took it serious. So wherever you are right now, as you're aspiring, if you're training, if you're just helping out, just volunteering, but you want to be, I'm a salary coach, I'm getting paid, this is my job. Treat right now as if it was your job. What would you do right now if you was in the position you wanted to be? How would you treat right now? And my advice is treat right now like it was later, like you're in that position. And I'm telling you, it won't be long, man. But more than anything, however long it takes, if you're willing to wait forever, you won't wait for long. That's my motto, man. So treat right now, point 4, as if you was already where you're going to go. So, man, I hope you guys got something out of this, man. This is a very passionate thing for me, for you aspiring coaches. That thing is coming, man, but you got to set your heart to go after it like it's yours already. And I believe that something will open up for you. So I hope you take the keys from this video, immediately put them into play. And I'm excited to hear some good things out of you guys that are watching. So hope this helped you. Once again, this is video 1, aspiring coaches. Next video, we're going to get into the coaches that are already coaching, which the aspiring coaches can get something from that too. But we'll get into that video of getting better. How do you sharpen your craft where you are right now? You're a new coach. You want to get better. You want to help your program out in a greater way. I'm going to share with you some things that I did even as my first year in a Division II coaching job that helped me to sharpen my craft and do the best that I could for my program and my head coach. So until then, appreciate you guys. Tune into the next video. Talk to you soon.